Well, hello again! If you are coming here after doing any of the other workouts, thank you for returning. I love to see you here. This is the 30-minute cardio HIIT workout for the Rogue Moons, the first book in the Obsidian Gods trilogy, which is the first series that I am working on ever. Well, for publishing at least. Okay, so first circuit will be totally focused on one of the main characters whose name is Amric. Second circuit is all about the other main character, Zellia. Then a water break. Circuit 3 is Haelius versus Daryae, the two moons in the Obsidian Gods trilogy. And circuit 4 is all about the gods of those moons versus the undead. Okay, first warm-up will be moon body circles. So basically, as you can see here, just making the shape of a full moon with your body. You should feel a stretch in your legs and in your back, in your arms, pretty much everywhere, which is one of the reasons why this is one of my favorite stretches, actually, one of my favorite warm-ups. And we'll just do another one. Okay, and now we are jogging. And we have to jog, obviously, because Amric and Zellia are vigilantes, and vigilantes do a lot of jogging and running. So, and as you can see, I'm also doing arm circles. Those are optional, but I like them as extra stretches for the arms, and also because it's in keeping with the moon theme, you know, kind of making more full moon shapes. Now go to the side and you're doing bayonet thrusts, which is basically just kind of a mid squat, and you're just swinging a bayonet and going back and forth in your squat at the same time. So the reason for this is that in the book, where it takes place in a place called Daryae City. We're about to go back to moon circles, by the way. But in Daryae City, and in fact throughout the whole planet, there are people called Shaitas, who are warrior priests. So they speak for the gods, they run the temples, and they also run the government and police force. They tend to come from pretty wealthy and powerful families. And next up will be the jogging again. You gotta jog a lot when you're a vigilante, so. But this is like probably the lightest cardio that you'll do for this whole workout. Keep on going. And you can also bring your knees up higher if you would like to, just to warm up a little bit more, or you can even do butt kicks. And now we are doing bayonet thrusts on the other side. Right, so the Shaitas, the warrior priests, they use bayonets in this world. So that's where this move comes from. I did watch a couple YouTube videos about people using bayonets, and I just tried to copy that basic movement. I know that it's not exactly the way that you might use a bayonet, but that's okay. Alright, done with the warm-up. You should feel pretty good all over your body, ready to go. Awake enough to handle the tougher stuff that's coming up. So, squat with pancake flips. This is the first move in Amric's circuit. You're going to squat and pulse and then hop, just a small hop, while swinging your arms as if you are flipping a pancake in a frying pan. You don't actually have to have your arms out like that. It's not really important to the move, so it's optional. But I watched this video that stuck out in my mind of somebody flipping a pancake like this, not with the squat or the hop, but they just looked so graceful doing it with their arms, and I thought that would be a great move for Amric, who is a cook in a restaurant in the book, and he spends a lot of time at the grill. Alright, that's totally a leg burner. I don't blame you if you want to stretch your quads a little bit before we go to the next one. especially since it's working the legs a little bit too. Forward lunges with fireball punches. So there's a little hop, which you can remove if you want to, and then a forward lunge, and you are punching with the opposite arm. Just like that. So the reason behind this is Amric is a god from a moon called Haelius, and the gods there specialize in fire magic and necromancy. Now, Amric has a strong aversion to necromancy, but he does like to blast fireballs out of his fists. In fact, he likes using fire magic in general, so this is great. This is a great move for him. And yes, also as you can see, you're just focusing on one side of the body for right now. You'll do the other one the second time through the circuit. All right, now we go to ladder climbs. So this is part of Amric's circuit because there is a place in the book that he has to get to by climbing a ladder. There's not a ton of focus on it or anything. In fact, it's more or less mentioned in passing, but it makes a good move. So, as you can see, it's a fairly simple move. It's a lot like jogging or high knees, just with additional arm movements as if you're climbing a ladder. I have also seen this move called cherry pickers, but of course, for our purposes, it's ladder climbs. If you want to pick up your knees even higher, or if you want to take out the bounce or the jog and just step, that's perfectly fine. You do you. This is your workout. Okay. And now we are going back to the top of that circuit with the squat with pancake flips. All right. And try to do an active rest between each move, a little jog or taps or something like that to keep your heart rate up. There you go. So, Amric, as I believe I said this in the 20-minute version of this workout too, but he's actually a low-class god on his moon, and he escaped to the planet a long time ago, and gods need to eat, so he didn't have much money to do anything other than play around with food and try to make it interesting, which is how he developed a passion for it, and actually, pancakes are one of his favorite things to cook. Okay, we are going back to the forward lunges with fireball punches. There's another idea for active rest. Just dance a little bit. All right, other side of your body. This time, I'll switch up in a second to give you another angle. Please note that I try, I'm not always perfect at it, but I try pretty hard to keep my knee at a 90-degree angle to the floor so that I don't strain it too much. And again, even though I'm not always perfect at it, I have yet to have any serious knee problems, so must be okay enough. And if you actually ever manage to punch fire out of your fists, please let me know. I want to see it. Okay, back to the ladder climbs. No, even though I have elected to call these ladder climbs for the purpose of this workout, I think that cherry pickers, calling them cherry pickers might also be appropriate for Amric, because I think he would probably be tall enough for cherry picking pretty easily. Fun fact, I do base, when I have a general idea of how I want a character to look, I actually do look up photos of just random people, typing in characteristics in Google, and if I find somebody who looks like the way that I was picturing them, I keep that picture with me to help me remember how, help me remember and to describe them even better. So yes, I have someone specific in mind for how Amric would look. Okay, next, lunge serves with tips. You're lunging backwards and then tipping. I always tip with one leg just because it is more of a challenge than tipping with both legs on the floor. But if you have trouble with that, that's okay, I understand. I sometimes struggle with balance, and you will see that a lot in these workouts. So this is the first move of Zellia's circuit because she is a server at the same restaurant where Amric works. And I like how the lunge, I like how the lunge looks like a graceful way of offering somebody a plate. And then the tip is a reference to tipping culture in the United States, which is unfortunately still thriving. All right, next up will be ice lance throws. So this, you'll give a little hop, or you can take out the hop if you want, and there's a side lunge, and then you twist while arcing your arm over your head as if you're throwing a lance, or a baseball if that's easier for you to imagine. So Zellia is, and see how I twist, or I don't know if twisting is necessarily the right word, but turn my back leg to help give power to that twist and that throw. So Zellia is from a moon called Daryae, which specializes in water and ice magic and also healing. When she is battling, she likes ice lances. It's one of her go-tos. Okay, you'll want your mat for this one if you're not on a carpet or a soft floor of some kind. It's gonna be a plank on your elbows, and then you'll just rock yourself slightly back and forth 3 or 4 times, and then pop your hips 3 or 4 times in like a shimmy. Just like that. So the reasoning behind this move is the same place that Amric gets to with a ladder is a place that Zellia gets to by crawling or shimmying through some air ducts. So that's where this move came from. And I feel like it looks easier than it actually is. You really have to flex your arms and make them work hard at keeping you up while the rest of your body is moving like that. Okay, back to the top of Zellia's circuit. Lunge serves with tips. And as with the pancake flips for Amric, the hand motion or the hand position isn't really necessary for this move. It's just that since Zellia is a server, it just seemed appropriate, like she's holding a plate. I know it also kind of looks as though she's dropping the plate when she tips, but I mean, for one thing, this is a cardio workout. We're not out to get super literal or accurate, but for another, with all the stories, the horror stories that I have read about servers and their customers, I'm sure that a lot of servers out there have wanted to just drop somebody's plate right in front of them at least once. I tried to be a very, very good customer. So the horror stories always surprise me. Okay, we are back to ice lance throws, this time on the other side of your body. And if you don't remember which side of your body to do this time, let me help you out. It's the side that you didn't do last time. You're welcome. So I was very obviously not a track star. I'm sure that any track athletes out there watching this will have something to say about my technique, but that's okay. I'm not out to win any track meets. Just having fun with the book-themed workout. And I like to think that I would say that one of the reasons why Zellia likes ice lances so much is because it's there's a certain amount of rage that you can put into throwing something really hard, and she has got a lot of energy. She feels things very strongly. Back to the shimmy planks. I feel like I also feel, I mean, the planks are a core move in general, but I feel like with the shimmy planks, I feel it in my core even more than with a lot of other kinds of planks. Especially during the shimmy part, the hip popping. It takes a lot of self-control and strength to do that in a plank position. But we are almost at our water break. 3, 2, 1. You got it! Yay! And now a minute water break. You can move the mat out of the way. Now, even with this water break, like, try not to sit down or collapse onto the floor or whatever, or at least not for longer than a couple seconds. Again, try to keep your rests active. As you can see, I like dancing during water breaks. It's relaxing, it's low impact, but still keeps the heart rate up. Keeps my body warm. Okay, next up there will be shuffle dodges. So basically that's just shuffling from side to side, and then when you're on, when you've reached one side, you just sort of duck, or, you know, it's sort of a swaying, ducking motion. Now usually I would shuffle 3 or 4 times before the duck part, but obviously there's not a whole lot of room when I have a cell phone camera that I'm trying to stay within the lens. So if you want to shuffle more before ducking, go on ahead and see if you can get yourself even lower than I am here, or if you can at least duck lower than I am. I know by this point of the workout you might already be feeling pretty tired, so but just try. Okay, next will be a punch combo. I do this pretty fast, so let me just explain it. It's a straight punch with your front arm and a jab, which is a straight punch with your back arm. Hook, you bring up your front elbow in the shape of a hook, and then uppercut with the back arm. Now, obviously I'm not going to be winning any boxing matches anytime soon either. But you might see that I am pivoting my back leg with the uppercuts. I am also squatting. I kind of do that instinctively. You don't have to do that, and in fact, it sort of defeats the purpose of an uppercut. But it does at least work the legs, and I could pivot my front foot a little bit more while doing the hooks, but that's the basics of that one. Next we'll be doing a jumping front and back kick. So you'll lift, if you have any trouble figuring out how to do a front kick, basically you lift up one of your knees and you hop on the other foot and kick it. So it's like your knee is giving you momentum, and as you kick backwards, it's okay if you can't kick high, whether it's in the front or the back. Just do your best, and with back kicks, sometimes it helps to kind of look behind you. That can help with the balance, and it can help with kicking higher. I do not know the science behind that. All I know is that it works. Next up will be shuffle dodges again. Just a basic defensive move in the middle of a battle. And this circuit is called Haelius versus Daryae. So, both of the moons have fairly similar fighting styles with some differences, but this circuit is really about how they have spent basically their entire existences being bitter rivals, and have gotten into more than one battle or war with each other, and sometimes involving the mortals on the planet that the moons orbit, which is kind of frustrating for everyone. Alright, now we're going back to the punch combo, this time on the other side. If you did it slowly last time, which I wouldn't blame you for, see if you can speed it up a little bit this time. Oh, I should be pivoting more on my back leg when I do the jab too. Oh well, that's something for me to work on. At least I'm punching. Punching is fun. Kickboxing in general is actually one of my favorite types of exercise. It's almost always pretty high energy, often pretty high impact, and it's just fun to punch and kick, I think. And done. Okay. Now we're going back to jumping front and back kicks. Try to make sure that you are kicking with your opposite leg this time. Get ready, get set, and go. And if the hopping is strenuous for your knees or your back or anywhere else in a way that, you know, doesn't just feel like you're strengthening your muscles, remove the hop and or kick lower. You could even just lift up your knees if you want to. Lift up your front knee and then your back knee. I will not judge you, that's for sure. Everybody begins somewhere, and I could not do this when I first started trying to get in shape after having my second kid. Alright. Next up will be side kicks. We'll be focusing on one side of your body for right now. And basically you just you lift up a bent knee in a chamber position, and then you just snap it out. But not too hard, you don't want to hurt your knee. Okay, and if you can do that continuously without having to step between, awesome. I highly commend you. I have to do that little step to get my balance back before I go into another kick. I also find it's easier to get my leg high if I bend over a little bit. And if I move my arm in an arc, my arm on the same side as the leg that I'm kicking, because it gives me some momentum. But don't worry about kicking lower if you have to, or about just lifting up your knee. Next up will be crescent kicks. These are pretty challenging, I think, because they're pretty different from most kinds of kicks. So you'll get into a fighting stance and bring your back leg up and around towards the inside of your body, and then back, just like that. All right, and these see, it's making a crescent shape as you bring it up. Now, yes, this can be pretty challenging. It requires leg strength and core strength, and some flexibility. So if you need to do smaller crescents or just lift up your knee, that's perfectly fine. You can work your way up to a full crescent kick. And done. Next up will be a punch combo. With side kicks. This one will just be the straight punch and the jab to side kicks, and just do the same side that you did already with both of these. And again, if you can go straight from those punches and into a side kick without having to step on the floor, super awesome. That's even better than what I am doing. Again, I need to do that for my own balance, because balance is not one of my strong suits. But either way, if you're not doing this as fast as I am, or if your kicks are lower, or you can only raise your knees, or if you're doing it faster, any of the above, it's all good as long as you are moving. All right, next, another punch combo, this time with the hook and the uppercut that we did before, and adding a crescent kick onto it. So as you do the uppercut, you should be pivoting your back leg for momentum, and also to get your leg in position for the crescent kick. It's a lot easier to get it up there if it's already in that right position and ready to gain momentum quickly, which it will from that angle. Just a few more. Okay, yes! Now, starting back from the top of that circuit with more side kicks. Oh my goodness. I remember recording these workouts during the summer, and it was so hot, and I'm doing all this crazy cardio and kicking, and man, sweating buckets. Now I don't know about you, but my kicks are usually weaker on this side. It's my non-dominant side. So, and on top of that, by now you're probably getting pretty tired. So, you know, my balance is even less great than usual, and I won't blame you if yours is the same. Just keep going. Next up, we got crescent kicks. And again, with the opposite leg. Get into your fighting stance. Ready to kick somebody in the head. Yeah! So, obviously the crescent aesthetic the crescent shape is another nod to the fact that moons play a very important role in this trilogy. And that's probably also why it would be considered an important move to both of the moons. Be sort of a signature kick for them. All right, you got it. Next up will be punch combo, straight in the jab with side kicks, again on the opposite side than what you did last time. So, and this is a southpaw position for me. Again, not my dominant side. So, you know, it's I tend not to be super graceful anyway. I'm even less graceful here. But it can still be a lot of fun. Kicking can be a great way to just get out some energy or frustration. Punching does that too. It's another reason why I love cardio kickboxing. If you lose your balance, just get right back to it. Okay, last move of this workout. You can do it. This is a punch combo, the hook and the uppercut with crescent kicks, again on the opposite side of your body. Yeah. So to continue along the same vein that I was talking, the same kind of topic that I was just talking about, use this opportunity to think about things that hold you back, things that irritate you, or just hinder you in any way. This is your chance to just try to fight it out with your own mind. I don't really recommend doing these moves on people, but against your own inner demons, absolutely. And congratulations, you have done it! Yay for you! And yay for past me! Cooling down for a moment and about to get into some stretches. So the first stretch you can see is a low lunge there with your arm twisting toward the lunging leg, or twisting away from it. The arm on the same side as lunging leg, twisting away from it. I love this stretch because I just feel it everywhere and it feels amazing. And hey, it's a twist, and there are plot twists in this series, so other leg. Keep your breaths steady. Okay, and now come up, very carefully rise. All right, next will be arm circles. Just 3 or 4 on one side and then 3 or 4 on the other. And then with your whole body. Oh, but first with both arms, then your whole body. Almost there. And you have done it. Thank you so much for working out with me. I hope that you read the book and that you enjoy it and or listen to the music, and that you like and subscribe. Thank you so much again.